Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Vanessa Khodalaylia. I'm from Epidemiology IUP 2017 of Universitas Negeri Semarang. In this occasion, I would like to present about vector control practice in my hometown. Before, let's discuss first about the concept of vector control. So, vector control is an effort to reduce the vector population as low as possible by reducing human contact with the vector and breaking the chain of the transmission. The basic approach for vector-borne disease control involves a strategy that is directed against the parasite and vector, and to enlist the involvement of community in practicing various preventive measures. So in these slides we can see about the dengue hemorrhagic fever in Central Java. So in 2018, the DHF cases began to increase in October, and in December the cases reached a peak with a total of 606 cases. And it is increased in 2019. We can see that in January the case significantly increased by 106.3%, more than 100%, to be 1,250 patients. And for the incident rate, it is increased from 2018. The incident rate was 10.30%, become 22.8% in 2019. And for the CFR, or case fatality rate, which is also increased from 1.5% in 2018, become 1.38 in 2019. And how about dengue hemorrhagic fever in Salatiga? So based on the report in 2018, the DHF incident rate of Salatiga city was 17.17 per 100,000 population, and the case increased in early 2019, become 18.1 per 100,000 population, and there are 8 villages that is endemic DHF in Salatiga. And this is the list of the villages that is endemic of DHF in Salatiga city. The first is Sidorejo Lor, and then followed by Mangunsari, Tegalrejo, Ledok, Tingkir Lor, Dukuh, Kauman Kidul, and Kecandran. And for the dengue virus serotype in Salatiga in 2019, based on the report, we can see in the diagram most of the DHF cases in Salatiga are serotype dengue 4, followed by dengue 1, then dengue 3 virus serotype. And now how about the vector control? So vector control can be carried out with the target. It can be adult mosquito or in the larval stage. In the adult mosquito, usually the vector control that is used is using the insecticides that apply to the fogging. There are 2 types of fogging. First is using heat, that is use the fogging machine, and then cold fogging, that is using ultra low volume or ULV. But repeated and long-term use of insecticide is not really good because it can cause the resistance. So the mosquito susceptibility surveys with susceptibility test is needed to be conducted to evaluate the use of insecticides. And also vulnerability surveys also important to be carried out in order to evaluate the impact of using insecticide in the prevention of DHF. And one of the DHF control is done through the eradication of mosquito nest, or we can usually know as PSN, with 3M close activities, which is draining, closing, burying, or recycling, and closed activities include the use of larvae fish, larvae powder, or larvicide. In accordance with the inquisition cases, such as in Salatiga City, the community participation in vector control needed to be improved by methods that are easy and can be done independently. For example, 3M PSN plus activities. So how about the integrated vector management? So we can divide the vector control into three types. The first is chemical, which is the control of larva vector or adult vector, which is mosquito. And then biological vector control, which is a biological control that aims at controlling vector larvae, such as predator, parasite, fungi, and nematodes. And the third is vector control with environmental management, which is it is an approach to control the mosquito by modifying the environment. The first is chemical vector control. The first is larva vector control. We can use the larvicides such as temels and insect growth regulator such as metopren and diflubenzuron. Or in adult vector control or mosquito control, we can use repellent, which is the chemical compound that is preventing the presence of insects or vectors, and also attractant, which is chemical compound that is used to attract or bring the insect to be closer and trap and exposed to the poisons. And then we can use the sterile insect technique, or we can use insecticide, which is the chemical compound that kills insects. This is the insecticide groups that is usually used to control the vector. There are organochlorine, organosulfate, carbamate, and also synthetic pyrethroid. The application of insecticide usually carried out by spraying the wall of the house, polish on mosquito nets, and fogging or ULV, and also the use of larvicides. And the selection of insecticide application must be based on the bionomic vector to be controlled and must be carried out appropriately, well on the target, on time, in the right way, in the right insecticide, and also in the right of dosage. And then the next is biological vector control. The fish-eating larvae, such as carp and guppy fish, have been widely used as a mosquito control. And another effective predator against Aedes larvae is vector of the copper plant, and also the genus Toxoricinids and also predator for mosquito larvae, and also the endocrine produced by Bacillus thuringiensis, also considered effective in controlling the mosquito larvae. And then vector control with environmental management. There are three kinds. The first is environmental modification, which is the permanent and long-term improvement of the vector habitats. And then the second is environmental manipulation, which is temporary change in the vector habitats. And then the last is change on habitat or human behavior, which is an effort to reduce the contact between human, vector, and pathogens. And how about the dengue vector larvae survey in Salatiga? The larva survey was carried out by visiting houses or buildings and monitoring all water reservoirs inside and outside the house. The result of monitoring and then recorded on the form. The implementers of monitoring in the field are the DHF gatherers and members of the Kelurahan Daga or LC from 8 endemic village. That is accompanied by a team from PPPPVRP and also the Salatiga City Health Department Office and Puskesmas. The assessment activities in Salatiga is one form of dengue prevention efforts. The conducting of the larva survey, it is also conducted to educate individual for PSN, especially to the families or house with the positive larva. The larva site distribution and other depending on the initiative of each region, but still under the coordinate of Health Department of Fish and the PPPPVRP team. The larva survey conducted twice in March and October 2019, and in the first larva survey, it is conducted in 8 endemic villages, and then the larvae that were found then taken to the PPPPVRP laboratory Saltiga. And the second larva survey was also conducted in 8 endemic villages in October, with consideration that the month was transition season, so it is already in the season. And in the second larva monitoring, it is done to find out the entomological indicators at the larva positive house and vector control efforts such as larvacidation and the use of larva eater fish and others. This is the larva free number from the survey that is conducted before. We can see here that the larva free number survey 1 and survey 2 is increased, which is good, from the larva free number increase, for example in the Mangunsari from 75.73 to be 93.91 larva free number. And about the container index, the container index from survey 1 and survey 2 shows in the graphic in this slide is decrease, as we can see in the table. For example, in the Mangunsari from 12.65 to be 2.78 container index. And then for the Brito index, it is also shows decrease number from the survey 1 and survey 2. We can see, for example, in Mangunsari from 31.7 to be 7.83 Brito index. That's all for my presentation. I hope we can get a new knowledge and new insight. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.